What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this latest release from J Hus called Big Conspiracy. Now, J Hus is a British rapper who first came onto my radar in 2017 when he dropped his Common Sense album, and that quickly became one of my favorite albums that year, resulting in it being in my top 10. Now, fast forward a little bit, he went away for a little while because he got caught carrying a knife in public, did a couple of months in prison, and he did also drop that big Spang EP, but I didn't really get into that one too much. It was only 3 or 4 tracks, so I didn't think there was much to be said. But now we fast forward to this project right here, and I think his fans were waiting for this because he had been through quite a bit, and it seems like it's been a long time since we did get a full release from him. So I will say that if you like Common Sense, I really expect that you will like this album too, because it has the same sound and also the same quality. You're going to hear a lot of the same producers, including J5, who very quickly is becoming one of my favorite producers. I think he's great at making that mainstream sound. So you are going to hear that on this album as well. He really does do a great job of blending genres. So you'll get hip hop, UK drill, dancehall, live instruments, Afro beats, all kinds of different stuff like that. And even though I'm not a big fan of rappers who use autotune, I think J Hus does it very well. He just knows how to deliver these catchy hooks. I like his melodies and his vocal style. And again, paired up with this production, it really is hard to miss. So for just a couple of examples of the beats that I really love on here, we have Fortune Teller. This one kind of sounds like a late 90s / early 2000s club banger, so I really enjoyed it. This one comes to us from I.O. Nothing too fancy. This just has some pretty silly bars on it as well, including "She peck on my wood, I call her Woody Woodpecker." I will revisit some silly lines from this as we move forward. And on Triumph, J5 delivers a little bit of a G-Funk vibe. You're getting a very groovy bass line here. I like the funky keys. You're getting horns that come in on the hook. So that right there is an example of how J5 does so good with the production. He also did Repeat. This song features dancehall / reggae star Coffee. And at first I didn't really like this one too much because I felt like it was kind of generic, just something that would come on the radio and you wouldn't pay much attention to it. But again, it's a J5 production that I think really helps step things up. As you listen through, you'll hear some more instruments coming and going. I'm talking about bells, pizzicato strings, just a lot of different things, man. And that's why I like J5's production. He always has a lot of layers, so even when you think a beat is kind of generic and simple, you start to pick up on all these little things that he does that really sets him apart from other producers, in my opinion. So I really liked that one. I thought it was an incredibly catchy song, and the first bunch of songs on here are just great, man. I didn't really find too many skips as I was listening through this one, and it instantly caught my attention, so I can see this making my top 30. But to move on here, or maybe move back I should say, since we're going to talk about the opening track, this one is called Big Conspiracy. It comes from Toby Shyboy, who did a lot of great work on here. He also did No Denying. That was a single where we got these mariachi horns blaring out. Not a favorite track of mine, but it's pretty good. And he also delivered some slinky pizzicato strings on Reckless, where J Hus is getting introspective and a little bit insightful. So there's a lot of great production from him on here as well. But coming back to the Big Conspiracy song, I really like the guitar on this, man. This one is just very bright and fun. It feels like something you might listen to in the summertime, and it kind of reminds me of I Need a Girl Part 2. Not saying they sound the same, just gives me that same type of feel, I think, because of the guitar. Just kind of light and fluffy. Really cool track. There's also some nice sax on the outro, another testament to how not just J5 but all these other producers aren't afraid to bring live instruments into the mix to liven things up. They use a lot of unique synths and keys, stuff like that. Great production all throughout. And the hook on the song is instantly catchy, as J Hus is just singing about staying true to himself despite all the things that he's gone through and how people might be judging him. That really does seem to be one of the main themes throughout this album. And while I wouldn't say that J Hus is a complex lyricist, as I alluded to earlier, there are certainly some cheesy, cringy lines on here that, you know, if someone said they were trash lines, I really wouldn't argue with you, even though I like this album. But I do like that he does provide a bit of insight and introspection throughout here. Really does seem like he's had some time on his hands to think, obviously, since he was locked away for a while. He went through some things, and he just doesn't want to be looked at in the wrong way or taken the wrong way. That kind of seems to be what he's getting across throughout this album. Even on the song Fight for Your Right, he sings, "How you gonna run the world when you can't run your life? I'm Destiny's child, every day I survive." Just a testament to getting his shit together, the trials and tribulations that he's faced, and how he wants to keep moving forward. So lyricism, you know, it's not amazing on here, but man, just the vibe and sound and feel of this project to me is amazing. This is actually the type of project that's outside of what I usually like. You guys know I'm a bit more of a traditionalist. I like that sample-based hip-hop, as well as guys who bring a lot of concepts, deep lyrics. But I like fun shit once in a while too. It just depends on how it's executed. And I do think J Hus does that mainstream catchy sound in a refreshing way. So I love Common Sense, and I do love this one as well. Now, there are some great features on here too. On Fight for Your Right, there's some nice vocal work courtesy of ICTGM. Hope I'm saying that right. They make another appearance on Helicopter. This one has another great beat. I love that slinky bass line on it. J Hus is working a lot of catchy sing-songy flows. And once again, he's getting introspective on here about the Babylon system of oppression and just how black people have been treated. He touches on that very briefly. So I do like that he does bring a little bit of insight on here, even though it's mostly about the bangers and fun tracks. You know, I'm kind of all over the place with this review because I think it's just an interesting project for me to talk about based on my taste, because this is outside of my usual taste, but I did enjoy it for a lot of reasons. So another song I did like is Love, Peace, and Prosperity, yet another J5 banger. Again, he's reflecting on his past actions and his sanity. On Deeper Than Rap, this one is just the perfect album closer. Long ass verse where he's going into all kinds of things. I think this probably is his best lyrical display, as he really is opening up and making use of some clever lines. I especially like when he spit those black empowerment bars with this, when he says, "No blacks, no dogs, we were segregated. They took our history, then they went and erased it. I'm just a road man, so why am I preaching? God made you sexy, so why you bleaching?" And thank you for saying that shit, man, because bleaching to me is just the craziest shit out there. I do not understand why beautiful black women, man, I love my sisters, I don't know why you would be bleaching that shit, man. It just looks weird. It just doesn't look right. Look at Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa looks like a damn, like if you took a can of Spam and you just dumped it out and it came out just a pile of pink mess. That's what he looks like, man. He looks kind of like that pink sludge when you see how bologna and hot dogs is made. He looks all fucked up. So you don't gotta bleach, you know, whether you're a male or a female, man. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of your blackness. So I like that J Hus does have some of these ideas in here. Just these little things he says once in a while. It shows you that he's not just some dummy. You know what I mean? I would like to see him expand on some of these ideas and maybe have some better bars once in a while. But it is what it is, man. You're going to get some silly bars whenever you're making sex-related content. I think pretty much every song about sex is always going to have some silly bars. And this is me setting up my next segment here, where I'm talking about the song Play Play. This is just a banger with a catchy hook from Burna Boy. Burna Boy is an artist who I haven't really jumped into too much, but I did listen to some of his African Giant album. I did like that. But on this song, they're just speaking on guns and girls with wordplay that revolves around sex and firearms, usually comparing their dicks to guns in some type of way, some type of heavy artillery, with bars like, "Said she had the melons, so I go and get 'em, spray 'em with my AK-47. You know, that's kind of some silly shit. And then on the song Cucumber, Hus is slanging the cucumber, or as he says it, cucumba, and he's making pum-pums sore. But that wavy late-night beat from Io, paired with the infectious hook, makes up for this flaw, man. So this is one of those projects where I just really enjoyed it. I could see myself listening to this when I'm driving around in the car. Actually a minivan now. I actually just got a minivan, so I'm a minivan dad. You know, I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. It is what it is. I can still listen to my jams in there when I'm just doing stuff in the kitchen, hanging out at home. Whenever I want something fun, I don't feel like listening to something too complex. This is going to be an album I'm going to come to. I love the hooks all over this, man. I think J Hus is a hook master. He does really well on here. A lot of the features are well placed. The production is incredible. So, you know, I really don't have too many complaints here, and that's why I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5. It just is what it is. It's a fun album. He delivered us some summer vibes in the dead of winter, so this is going to keep us kind of warm moving forward. But I can definitely see myself turning this up more in the summer when I go for some long highway drives and stuff like that. But as for my least favorite track, I go with Must Be. Wasn't anything glaring here. This was just the weakest track to me. I didn't connect to this one too much. Didn't like the hook and the beat. Don't have a whole lot to say about it. But yeah, man, that's how I feel about it. I'm not going to go higher than a 4 because it isn't anything too complex. It's pretty simplistic. I mentioned some of the issues with some of the lyricism and bars, but overall, for what it is, it's a fun project, and if you just want to take it for that, I think you'll enjoy it. But hit me up in the comments section with your thoughts and opinions, because I always want to know how you feel. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, man. It's been like, you know, I can't think of a celebrity death that hit this hard. I know a lot of people are saying Nipsey Hussle, RIP to Nipsey too, but for me personally, as a fan of basketball, coming up watching Kobe, everything that Kobe has done, and then seeing him progress and become this father, just how much he loved his little girls, it's just heartbreaking, man, the way that it all happened. Of course, there's the trials and tribulations in there with Kobe as well. There's all that other stuff that people are trying to speak on, but just focusing on the man, what he's done with his family and for the game of basketball, just his greatness. Man, it's rough, man. It makes me reflect as a father, not just as a fan of basketball. I'm not going to go into it too much, but I just wanted to say that, man. RIP to Kobe, one of the GOATs. Hit me up in the comments section as always. You guys, enjoy yourselves. Tell your loved ones you love them. Man, this took a turn to getting all serious all of a sudden. It is what it is. But I had to throw a RIP Kobe out there somewhere. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hit me up in the comments section, and I will see you next time.